No, Miss Ray, you're not under arrest, but I would greatly appreciate it if you would just hang tight in this here tavern room until I get everything sorted out. Last time on Lost Legends of Scadrial. Oh, you're here about the horse bear. I think that I actually witnessed an attack from the horse bear not too long ago.
Does seem a little suspicious that after she showed up all interested in the horse bear, that's when these attacks started.
It actually almost looks as if a human has taken a bite out of this cow. You guys arrive back at the inn. You see the innkeeper, who looks just a little bit confused, and he's holding a set of keys in his hand.
Clydus dashes to the horses.
You throw this lasso, and it strikes true. Now stop right there and let me know what the hell you think you're doing chasing this young lady.
The girl has some information about a potential monster that's been terrorizing the village of Hammond.
At that moment, Clydus quick draws and tries to pull the same thing that he pulled on Finn and just shoot the gun out of his hand.
At the front of the group of horses, you see that same lawkeeper that interrupted you earlier, and he's riding or sitting in the saddle next to the mayor, and he points you out and then gives a nod to the mayor. I don't understand what you were thinking. In the flickering light of the cave, you see a very skittish-looking, deformed beast. You notice that it has vaguely human features that have been distorted.
I would very much like to speak with Miss Saray again if we can somehow isolate her from this situation.
Hello, and welcome back to the Lost Legends of Scadrial Mistborn Adventure Game Podcast. I'm your host and narrator, Trevor, and with me we have the rest of the Lost Legends.
I'm Lena, aka Beladora Wilde.
I'm Zach, and I play Finnigan Bomon.
I am John, and I play Clydus Logan.
Let's jump back in. You guys are still inside of the cave where you found the beast that has been terrorizing the hamlet of Hammond. Clydus, I think, was mentioning finding a substitute animal to turn in and then taking it back to Elendel, but the group had not quite yet decided on a course of action.
I'm just wondering, we're here to get paid, right? How much of our money on the road is going to be put towards feeding this thing?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, if you want to, we can just shoot it right now.
I don't want to do that either. That's the dilemma.
Beladora?
I'm still for going to talk to Miss Saray and see what she knows about this thing.
Well, why don't we start with this then? Finn, why don't you go with Miss Beladora into town? I'll give you some of my cash. You bring back, whenever you're done with whatever your errands entail, bring me back a large rope and a bushel full of dried meat to keep our friend here happy and set a trap for some wolf.
I'm just going to stop you for a second right there. I just want to say I heard large ope, and I'm like, that couldn't be any more Midwestern. Continue.
Ope? It said bushel.
You said large ope, which I'm guessing was rope.
Oh, yeah, I said rope. I meant rope.
Well, that handles one problem. I guess I'll at least find some stuff to get this thing fed, and so it's not attacking anything else.
And Clydus readies his gun in case this thing decides to get ornery at some point.
Okay, so as far as I understand, the plan right now is Bella and Finn are returning to town, and Clydus, you're staying in the cave?
Yep, I'm splitting the party.
Let's go ahead and do Bella and Finn first. So you guys left the cave. It's starting to get late, late into the night, not late into the night, but late into the sunset, like last bit of light is peeking out over it. Don't quite have, and you have a couple of torches left, but not quite enough that you could make it to town and back in time in the dark. So that's just as you're starting to set out.
I'm sorry, you said our torches are running low.
You definitely have enough torches to leave some with Clydus and enough to make it back to the town. But from that point on, it's kind of a gamble if you'd be able to make it back to the cave in time without running out of torches in the darkness, since the daylight's fading now.
Oh, daylight is fading. Okay. You know, Bella, why do I get the feeling we're not thinking this through properly?
That's probably a good inkling you got there. I don't know, I just think... Does that thing seem intelligent enough to open a gate to you?
Not really.
So, if it went through that gate, and the gate was opened, then wouldn't somebody have had to open it for it?
Does that mean someone's sicking this creature on this community?
Potentially.
Who would gain anything from that?
Well, Miss Saray seems to be very interested in this thing. I know that I'm just beating a dead horse here, but
You're beating a dead horse, Bear.
Yes, very funny.
But no, something about... That does make sense. I mean, so something called the horse bear, I'm doing air quotes at this point, is attacking livestock. What's the end result? It's driving people away from the library. It's driving tourism out of the town and threatening the town's livelihood. Who has something to gain from something like that? That's the question.
I don't know who has anything to gain, but it seems to me that Miss Saray doesn't have anything to lose, and she's the only one here that does.
We may have to extend the old olive branch to her, as it were.
At least...
In order to at least find something out.
Mm-hmm.
See if we can get anything out of her.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, we'll go ahead and jump over to Clydus for now. Is there anything in particular you'd be doing with the creature that you've got there, or are you mostly just maintaining a vigilant watch, make sure that it doesn't try and leave?
I'm still basically like petting it, trying to keep it calm, while I've got my gun cocked and ready in the other hand in case I need to, shoot it.
Go ahead and give me a charm roll first. +1.
All right. There, that's 6, right?
5.
All right, I was looking at my wits. My bad. Just 2 nudges, and I will spend those to reroll. Nothing.
Okay, this creature's starting to get a little restless. It's gone into the cave and is kind of just pacing in the back of the cave, eyeing you nervously. It seems to be getting more and more agitated up to the state where when it first walked in, but hasn't made any aggressive movements or anything. It just seems to be staring focused at you. And go ahead and give me a wits roll.
5s.
All right, you are 100% certain that while it has its attention fully on you, it is always aware of where the gun is pointed. Like, it's gotten visibly more nervous when you've pointed the gun directly at it, and its eyes will sometimes waver from your face to flick towards the gun, but without a doubt, you are completely certain that it is tracking the movement of the gun.
All right, well, Clydus just immediately uncocks the gun and puts it away.
Okay, give me another charm roll
down,
+2
fella.
this time.
All right, 5s and 2 nudges.
Okay, with that gesture, all of the tension seems to leave it, and it actually settles back down and sits down with its legs crossed and looks the most human that it has looked since you first saw it.
Clydus goes and sits down next to him. This kind of reminds me a little bit of a little adventure I took with my little brother once. He and I decided that, we were making our way as adults, being dumb teenagers that we were. So we grabbed a bottle of our great Pappy's alcohol and moonshine, like they want to make out of And we just took ourselves a hike and found a nice little cave. Sat ourselves down, thought we were so smart, drinking and setting up the fire. And suddenly we hear this noise out in the bushes, and damn near scared the daylights out of us. We're sitting there twitching and worrying, and we didn't bring any weapons because, being smart adults that we were, we didn't think about it. So we're all sitting there hugging ourselves, ready to die. And sure enough, it was our pappy. He was playing pranks on us in revenge for stealing his booze. We all had a laugh, and then had ourselves a nice little cookout right there in that cave. Caught a rabbit on his way up here. Smart old bastard that he was. And yeah, it was a nice night.
All right. The more that you talk and the more conversationally that you address it, the more and more you notice that it gets very calm, and this like animal-like fury that you've noticed in its eyes as you've been watching it seems to recede, and you don't necessarily see like rational thought occurring, but the look does grow very pensive and less like an animal the more that you spend talking to it. And with that, we'll go ahead and jump back over to Finn and Bella. You guys are made it to the town now. Night has fully settled. You've used up one of your torches. You still have a couple left for the return ride, but it would be very much a gamble as to whether or not you would be able to get to the cave with the torches that you have, or whether you'd be able to find it in the dark without them after they go out.
Solution: we just set the town on fire.
That's worked in the past. I don't think it'll work now.
Well, not with that attitude. Anyway.
They go from the well-roasted dusters to the well-roasted roughers.
Yeah, let's see if we can hunt down Belle.
Nicely this time.
Yes, nicely this time.
Where would you be looking for her?
Library.
You go to the library building to find that it is actually locked up for the evening, and there's nobody who's like on attendant or anything inside the building to be able to come and let you in.
All right, Finn, I might have a poke into the inn while you possibly stay outside to risk rousing the ire of the innkeeper.
Or I could break the door.
Or you could break the door. Sure, why not? Let's go inside.
No, I'm not going to break the door. That one was a joke.
Okay, so you guys head over to the inn. You go inside, and it seems that there is quite a bit of a crowd in there. It seems that a lot of the men who had been roused and dragged from the ranches earlier in the night by the lawmaker who had made his way back into town have stayed around to just sit and chat over a couple of drinks. And so the bartender actually looks quite busy compared to when you've seen him in previous times.
Do we see Belle anywhere inside?
You don't, and you see that all of the books that were on her table are no longer there.
I'm going to be unassuming and just saunter upstairs without anyone seeing me.
Okay, go ahead and give me a physique roll +1. Actually, no, I'm not even going to make you roll for it. You've got a room at this inn. I mean, nobody's going to stop you.
Well, I just don't want them to. I just don't want them to like, because I'm like they're already roused up and they're mad at us specifically.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a physique roll then. Bella, what are you doing?
I am just trying to blend in as much as humanly possible.
Okay, just finding a table or up at the bar?
Yeah, maybe a table. Actually, no, I'm gonna go up with Finn.
Okay, go ahead and give me a physique roll as well.
My favorite.
That was 5s and a nudge for me.
Well, lucky you, because I got nothing.
Okay, yeah, so you kind of just grab Bella and quickly walk, like, ducking between people as they get up and go, so that way you're always behind them instead of facing them, and somehow manage to weave your way through the crowd and get to the stairs. You go to the top of the stairs and you look down the hallway that would lead towards where all of the rooms are, with Bella's being the first one on the left, and you notice that at the end of the hall, the lawkeeper that confronted everyone earlier is sitting outside of Belle's room.
Finn, maybe I should take this one.
He's all yours.
He sure is. And I'm gonna go over to him and just approach him very flirtily. And hi, I'm terribly sorry. I think that we got off on the wrong foot last time we met. I'm Beladora Wilde. You are?
But the names do me, and I don't suppose you got a better sort of explanation for what's going on here, do you?
I'm afraid we're looking into that as much as we can, but, it's a really weird situation. Don't always see cows killed by things with human teeth. Well, teeth marks, being what killed it.
Can you run that by me again? You're saying that the cows were killed by something with human teeth?
To the best of our ability to find out, yes.
Why didn't you say something like that before, instead of waving your guns at me and dragging this poor woman off her horse?
Ask him who would benefit from driving tourists out of the town.
I can't hear you, Finn. Go.
Ask him who would benefit from driving tourists out of the town.
Is Finn just yelling this from the other end of the hall?
Yes.
He kind of just turns his head and looks down the hall towards you. How the hell would I know that?
Well, you're from here. I thought it was you know the layout.
I'm a traveling lawkeeper. I ain't from here. I've been here a number of times, but can't recall any of them they actually needed my help with tourism.
Anyway, getting back on track, Dooney, Miss Saray is the only person in town who claims to have seen this creature. We were trying to get some information out of her, but she just ran. She is our only lead, the only person to have seen this thing, and, well, this thing is terrorizing the townsfolk.
Well, with what was in that notebook and some of the things you were saying, and the way that you didn't give chase to me or try and hide any of the evidence and just came right back to town, I had a talk with Mayor Hammond, and I've got Miss Belle under house arrest right now. So, what is it that you need from me?
If you wouldn't mind, sir, I would very much like to have a word with Miss Saray.
I hope you realize that would be supervised.
Of course.
Go ahead and give me a charm roll. I'm going to give you the 1 for skillful manipulator.
Okay. That is 2 4s and a nudge.
He gets up off his chair, nods his head, takes a key out of his pocket, and unlocks the door and opens it up, allowing you to step in.
Okay. I'm gonna step inside. What is Belle looking like right now?
Belle is sitting calmly on the bed. She has one of her notebooks open and she's scribbling some notes in it. But for the most part, she just looks perturbed. Doomy steps into the room behind you and closes it, and then locks it behind him, that leaving Finn in the hallway.
I will take his place and guard the door.
And it's not like a door is going to stop Finn anyway, so... Miss Saray.
Oh, hello again. Did you come to drag me out of my bed this time?
I have not, and you might notice that I'm probably one of the most reasonable folks that you've encountered so far, so I thought that we might have a chat. Woman to woman.
And what would you like to chat about?
Well, I don't know how to phrase this so that he doesn't get tipped off. Okay. As you know, we've been investigating this little situation of yours, and we have seen fit to check out that little cave that you mentioned the first time we met.
And what does that have to do with pulling me off my horse?
Nothing. I hope that you might be able to set that aside for the moment, because I was wondering if you knew anything about what we might find there.
Nothing more than I haven't already told you. it was dark and I only got a glancing look at it, and I was so scared when I found the cave that I turned and ran like I did when you chased me down. The thought of going into that cave terrifies me.
Ask her who would benefit if Taurus left the town.
Finn tries to whisper through the door.
Bella hears nothing.
Or she hears it, but she's completely ignoring him.
Can Finn even hear what's going on?
No.
I probably have like my ear to the door or something.
Anyway, go on, Bella.
Well, Miss Ray, since you had such an interest in this creature and how beasts hunt, I thought that you might be more excited to see the creature that had committed these acts to these cows.
You found the beast? Is it a
Perhaps.
horse bear?
I don't know.
She looks excited, but also very skeptical.
Finn's in the hallway like, yes, it's a horse bear.
Tell her
it's
it's a horse bear.
Tell her it's a lion bear.
Now, Belle, I was wondering if you might like to see this creature yourself.
Is it dead? Did you kill it? Or they're, for some reason, they're not letting me leave. After you tied me up and dragged me off my horse, my entire life's been thrown asunder. It's not like I could take you up on that offer anyway.
Well, you seem to have made yourself quite the expert on this thing. One would think that maybe if you could consult with us, we might be able to make some allowances.
I don't understand why you're singling me out to begin with. What is this about? What are you suspecting I have done? Why did you chase me down like that? I don't know if I can agree to go with someone who nearly killed me, breaking my neck, pulling me off a horse.
You might notice that the fellow who did that is not here right now.
Well, I hear your other friend whispering outside the door.
Yeah, he's an idiot. Don't pay any attention to him.
You've even managed to convince this good lawman that I'm somehow some nefarious figure.
Perhaps not nefarious, but if you do happen to know something that might be of use, then that would be very helpful to us.
Give me another charm roll. +1.
Not that great. 2 3s and a nudge.
That beats her. She takes a couple of minutes to think about it without really saying anything, before she finally nods her head. That would be acceptable for me if it's something that the townsfolk are willing to let me do. For all I know, I'm being held kidnapped here, so if you can convince him, then I'm in.
Well, I'm sure that we'll be keeping quite a watchful eye on you as well, but I can guarantee there will be no more pulling off of horses and all of that.
Doomy's gonna kind of look between you and between her. Well, if she's okay with it, then I guess I'm not gonna stop it, but I'm gonna be there every step of the way.
Of course you are, darling. Wouldn't have it any other way.
We can go ahead and just kind of skip ahead at this point, unless there was any other role-playing that you guys wanted to do. Doomy going to the general store and talking to Mal for a couple of minutes and procuring more torches for you, before the 4 of you saddle up and start heading towards the cave.
Yeah, as soon as he's out of earshot, I definitely want to talk to Belle.
Oh, he's gonna keep Belle like on his hip.
Bastard.
The next thing I was gonna say is that he actually ties her horse's saddle to his saddle, so that way she has to ride within a certain distance of him even.
Is there any way we can
Okay.
procure like meats or anything like that as well?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a resources roll. Clydus, how much of your money were you handing over?
I was giving him my -1.
Okay, so go ahead and make that a roll of 4.
That's 2s.
Yeah, you definitely get a pretty good selection of dried meats and rations and other things.
And a rope?
And a rope.
Go ahead and spend 2 resources instead of 1, Finn, and you can have the rope as well.
So that puts me at 2.
It'll put you at 1 because you have to spend your resource regardless of whether you get one from other people.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So 2 spent total.
Gotcha. Okay.
I might, if I can't talk to Bell, I might go and sidle over to Finn to have a word with him. So, it seems like our good friend Doomy does not want to leave us to have a moment of privacy. So, I was thinking, maybe you might be able to either make some sort of distraction or let our good friend Clydus know what's about to arrive.
It's dark, but I think I could manage that.
I'm just not sure how much I want our good friend the lawkeeper to see what's in that cave before we can do some damage control.
Yeah. Lawman pointing a gun around would sure drive that beast into a frenzy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a solid point. But if we don't have it there, what are we gonna do to explain to them when they get there?
That's a really good question. I mean, they don't know that we've actually, tamed it or anything like that, so we could always just say that it left or whatever.
Or you could... Is there any chance you could mentally prepare them for that?
I could try. I guess it just depends on how we want to play this.
I mean, this is nothing like how we normally play things, so I'm at a loss here.
Yeah, me too. I don't know, I just feel sorry for that damn thing.
It did look kind of cute at the right angle.
I don't know if I would go that far,
Finnigan and the Beast. Finally come full circle. I have to say, I love the beauty of Clydus saying, "Go get supplies so we can fake the animal," and then you're coming back with a lawkeeper to the animal.
Well, we didn't know he'd be there at the start.
It's just the way that this played out. That's just funny to me.
It's okay, there's still time to get rid of him.
And his name is Doomy. So...
It's a long walk. Something might happen to him. Who knows?
We might do him.
Yeah, that won't cause trouble.
Was there anything that you wanted to roleplay on their way back?
No, Clydus is just kind of talking, trying to keep the thing soothed.
Okay, Bella and Finn, I'll give you just a little bit longer to try and figure out if you have a plan, what that plan is, and enact that plan. But as long as a walk as it is, I don't want to wait to roleplay for the length of that walk.
Yeah, bold of you to assume that we ever have a plan.
I know, that's the hard part. Tell you what, I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and scout, and see how Clydus is doing tracking, and
Sounds like a fun
I'll say
plan.
scout and tracking in an obvious air quotes kind of way.
You can stop waggling your eyebrows at me, Finn. I know what you mean.
Okay, are you guys going to inform Doomy at all about what's going on, or is Finn just going to ride off ahead?
I'll inform him what's going on, and then ride off with Stallion into the night.
Okay, go ahead and give me a charm roll. I am going to give you +1 for being reserved and protective.
4s.
You kind of explain that you got the other guy scouting up ahead, trying to track down the beast for sure, and that you want to make sure that it's safe before you bring everybody out. And he waits just a half a beat before nodding his head and giving his assent, allowing you to ride off ahead.
As fast as a pony can take me.
Give me a physique roll, and I'm gonna make it -1 because you're riding a pony, and that was a conscious choice.
3s and 2 nudges.
Okay, pony is like the token fantasy horse. I forget what Sam's horse was in Lord of the Rings, but
Bill.
then
Bill.
Bill the
Bill.
pony, and then, funnily enough, Bella from Wheel of Time. So you have found that horse and Stallion, sure-footed and fleet of heart, rides as fast as he can to the cave.
Hi-ho, Stallion, away!
Clydus, go ahead and give me a physique roll.
Sure.
Difficulty 2 to hear the horse steps approaching.
They sound like coconuts in the distance.
5. Wow.
Yeah, so almost as soon as it's possible for you to hear Stallion, you hear the clomp of the horse hooves outside, and you're able to kind of extricate yourself from this comfortable companionship that you've developed with the creature since they left.
No, hold on. I hear him. I am comfortable.
Okay. So you're
Finn
able
will
to
come
keep,
to me.
keep it nice and calm as the horse rides up to the mouth of the cave.
So I'm gonna leave Stallion like outside the cave a ways, tie him up, and head into the cave like very cautiously and carefully.
Welcome back, Finn. I hope you got that meat.
Oh, thank goodness you're still alive. Okay. Yes, I've got the meat. Got your large ope.
Very funny.
We've also brought along Miss Saray willingly.
Maybe next time I'll make fun of how you... Wait a minute, what?
It's about time someone started making fun of Finn. See how he likes it.
And,
I guess it's fine if she comes along. I mean, she's supposed to be some kind of expert.
And our over-ambitious lawmaker is also...
Whoa,
coming
wait,
with
what?
Well, him and Belsaray were kind of a package deal.
Clydus, immediately stands up. Our plan was to fake the death of some other animal, and you brought that lawmaker, the one who doesn't know how to mind his own business, into our business. You realize the whole fake death thing doesn't work if he sees the creature.
Well, I mean...
Can you believe this? And Clydus turns and, gestures to the animal.
You go and you do that, and you actually see it, shrug its shoulders.
Unbelievable.
Well, I mean, Belle didn't want me to talk to anyone or anything, so, in this case, we blame Belle. Agreed?
All right, I'm comfortable with it.
I know. It's ridiculous.
All right, well, I assume you have a plan.
About that, we've got meat and we've got rope.
Clydus just kind of stares at him for a while. Yes, that was my plan.
So
I'm curious about your plan.
You split the party for 20 minutes, and look what happens.
Yeah, right. This is why you don't split the party.
I have to say, I am so excited to see how this all turns out, because I have no idea.
So why don't you use your very capable wrangling skills, and and we draw the beast out with the meat that we have.
Okay.
And we go find something else to kill and say, hey, we've got it, yay!
Remember that part about the human teeth? We were lying!
Now, Finn, I'm just humor me here, because I'm trying to wrap my head around all this. So, instead of my plan, which was get me a rope and tell no one,
yep, get me
and kill some other animal, you want to bring the lawmaker and Bella here. So we have to worry about coaxing this creature to leave the cave without killing anything else, so we can do exactly what I plan to do, but with much more difficulty.
You know, I'm not used to this whole wilderness thing. I'm more of a city dweller myself, and I mean, my plans make a lot more sense there. Just saying.
So, what is the goal in bringing the lawmaker and Bella here?
I'm not
To make
I would
things
love
more
to know what
difficult.
Plan A is.
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. It just seemed like a good idea at the time.
I see.
I mean, though
I am just astounded and amazed.
on the way there, Bella and I did figure something out. In your
Okay.
time with the creature. No offense.
Uh-huh.
I say to the creature.
It shrugs its shoulders again.
Yeah, we should probably give him a name. You have any preference for a name? He says as he turns to it.
It'll kind of cock its head and look up at you.
We could call you Cocky.
It shakes its head vigorously.
Okay. Not big on Cocky. We'll figure something out.
That's not important right now, Clydus. But Bella and I did figure something out.
Okay.
In your time with this creature, do you think it would be able to, say, open barn gates? Or open the gates around the barns?
Maybe. Seems to know what a gun is.
Huh.
And clearly, as you can see, it understands enough
But
to respond. Don't you, fella?
It kind of shrugs its shoulders one more time.
Hey, how about that? How about we call you fella?
It reluctantly agrees.
Fella it is. That's a good name. Very manly.
Not at all close to Belle or Bella.
Not at all.
So
Yeah,
the line of
maybe
thought that we
fella
were
could
thinking
lift up
is,
some
what
gates.
if someone knows about this thing and is using it to drive tourism away from the town?
Tourism.
Because of the
Let me ask you this, Finn. Before I found this job, had you ever heard of Hammond's Hamlet?
I have not, but I am also not anyone who goes to libraries.
Uh-huh. So tourism. All those people lining up to pay money to come see the sights.
Well, I mean, before he came along, there was a wealthy supply of travelers coming in for the library, and now there's not. Except for one Belle Soray.
And Clydus would remember the bar owner talking about scholarly conventions not showing up anymore, and that being where he had gotten a lot of his business was people coming to read the early accounts. Since it's such an old town, like there were a lot of first-hand accounts of people growing up immediately after the Cassandra.
Oh, you mean brain stuff.
Yes, I mean brain stuff.
Okay, you lost me there. I'm like, it's not like they've got the longest twine of rope or something like that. I don't see anyone coming here to see this. Okay, people coming in for the brain stuff in the books. Well, I suppose, but she didn't seem to be the type that minded people reading books around her.
Exactly. So who in town would have something to gain by emptying the library and taking it and making sure there are no visitors?
Nobody, as far as I can tell.
Would it be in our best interest to find out?
No. It's in our best interest to get this job done so we can get the hell out of here and get
But
paid.
intrigue, subterfuge. That's what the well-roasted dusters are all about.
Somebody's trying to upend the Hammond dynasty.
Clydus just kind of looks around. Finn, have you met me? Do I strike you as the intrigue type?
Sometimes.
All right, fair enough. Well, okay, I guess, fella, you want to take a walk? And Clydus pulls one of the pieces of meat and kind of tosses it over to fella.
Yeah, he'll grab it and kind of start to walk alongside you. And like you kind of developed a little bit of a rapport with it, so it's kind of just gonna follow you around for right now.
And so Clydus just takes the meat. Let me tell you about the time that we made our pappy think the house was on fire. That was a good one. And then he just like completely out of earshot for the rest of the story as he walks off into the forest.
Okay. Bella, is there anything that you wanted to do while Finn is gone, or should we kind of fast forward to you arriving at the cave?
Yeah, we can probably fast forward. The only things that... Thank you, princess. Oh my god.
That was your welcome.
She knows. The only things that she would really be doing is, she might kind of like take the long way around and do a little bit of looping around to take as long as possible.
Except Belle knows the way there.
Hopefully,
do we want to
she
roll
won't
to see
say
if she
anything.
accidentally runs into Clydus and Fella?
Bella, go ahead and give me a wits roll.
Oh, good. Oh, good. That was 2 2s.
Belle got 3s and 2 nudges, so she's able to pretty well recognize when you guys are starting to get off course, and she keeps like not in any sort of confrontational way, but I'm sure that it was more towards this constellation from when I remember following the creature, and he with Doomy kind of looking at you and Belle seeming to be fairly confident, you're not able to distract them very much at all.
Okay. Okay, I tried.
Let's jump over to Clydus then.
And yeah, he ran out of that bedroom screaming. We were just laughing our asses off. I tell you, he tanned our hides so hard, we couldn't sit for a week. But anyway, I guess we go this way. He's just like kind of like leading him around and like feeding him some meat, when he runs out. Just kind of like walking off into the forest.
Okay, are you trying to find any substitute animal at this point, or are you just keeping Fella busy?
Just keeping Fella busy.
Okay, we'll go ahead and let's go ahead and stop here for the night. We will pick it up again next week with Bella and Doomy and Belle arriving to an empty cave. Give everybody some time to think about what's going to happen next.
We need some time to think about what we've done.
We've written ourselves into a corner. Join us next week.
Bye.
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 Thanks for listening.
Mistborn and all related properties are owned by Brandon Sanderson and Dragonsteel Entertainment. The Mistborn adventure game, the Alloy of Law supplement, and the Masks of the Past supplement are owned by Crafty Games. Special thanks to Steve Argyle for letting us use his artwork for the logo, and to Boardroom Design for putting the logo together for us. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and YouTube at LLOS Podcast, or join our Discord community. We hope that you'll give us a 5-star review on iTunes or whatever podcast provider you use. And make sure you tell a friend who loves Brandon Sanderson. Thanks for listening. Tune in next time. Oh, howdy, ma'am. The name's Doomy. Don't suppose you got a better explanation. Okay, you just...
You couldn't help it.
Get it out. You didn't hear that, so Finn can't react.
But Zach sure can.
I take back what I said. If Finn doesn't break a door, he's dead.